homeowners, it's not a question of if, but when the next hurricane will come. No matter what Florida weather has in store, StormSmart has products that protect every opening of your home while improving the look, feel, and function. From durable aluminum shutters, high-impact windows and doors, to our innovative storm catcher screens, products that enhance the beauty of your home and keep your family safe. Because smart is complete hurricane protection, and smart is peace of mind. Call StormSmart today for your free in-home consultation.
When your power goes out, remember just how inconvenient your life can be. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with a Generac Home Standby Generator, you'll have power when you need it. Our Generac generators automatically provide backup power after sensing a power outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Get a free 10-year warranty with the purchase of any air-cooled generator. Call Generac Generators today. Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
We've got some clouds out there, even a couple of sprinkles as another front rolls through the area. Most of us wake up to sunshine and then very warm temperatures in the afternoon. Our temperatures, they're going up and they're staying up. Really nice forecast, especially if you're planning on going to the beach or the pool. Rain chances very slim. Another beautiful day in store. It's going to bring us a very high chance of storms. Some isolated showers across the area. Mother Nature likes to remind us that it isn't set by a calendar. We're always on it for you just in case things begin to pop.
Streaming from the ABC Action Weather Center in Studio A. This is Dennis Phillips Live. Sponsored by StormSmart. Protect every opening of your home with StormSmart. And by Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
How you doing, everybody? It's Mike on. Yep, it is a Wednesday night edition of DPL Plus. Like I said last night, I definitely wanted to be here and give an update on rain potential over the weekend. Lots of stuff to talk about. You know, so many things going on this weekend. I don't know if I told y'all, but on Saturday, I'm receiving a Distinguished Citizen Award from USF and for graduation, and am honored to actually give the commencement address. So, and I will tell you, I'm a little freaked out about it because, I mean, you know me, I can sit here and talk and, you know, and not have any trouble filling time. But that's when I'm talking about nothing or weather. I mean, you know, it's usually either weather, travel ball, we'll get into that in a minute, you know, anything else. I mean, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. But an inspirational speech, one for, you know, graduates who are probably, you know, I would bet, you know, I may be wrong, but I would bet of every graduate who's sitting there watching the graduation, maybe a third of them have jobs at that point. I mean, I don't know. That's just a number I'm pulling off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's quite a few. So, you know, that's got to be a nerve-wracking thing. We were talking about this, and my son graduated FSU last week, and one of the speakers was saying, you know, back when a lot of us went to college, you know, older folk, you know, we would, it was kind of a linear path. Like, we would graduate college and there'd pretty much be a job. Now, that being said, when I graduated college from Penn State with meteorology and telecommunications, I literally worked at a Unimart, which is like a glorified 7-Eleven, slicing lunch meats and working at a convenience store until 2 a.m. with a double degree because I could not find a job. And I looked and looked and, you know, and I finally, 18 months later, I finally found one. My first full-time weather job, I was the chief meteorologist, the night beat reporter where I turned a package every night, and I made $11,500 a year. I qualified for free cheese, free government cheese. So I mean, you know, I've been there. And you know, at that point in time, you know, in broadcast, you worked your way up the ladder to get into a bigger market. Nowadays, not so much. I mean, nowadays, there's opportunities for kids right out of school in top 50 markets, top 40 markets. Salisbury was the 167th market, I think. So yeah, it was, you know, times were different back then. But anyway, Jody, it's a Distinguished Citizenship Award from USF. I think it's regarding the community service that we've done for our fundraising as well as for hurricane coverage and whatnot. And it's at graduation at USF, but at the same time, it's also I'm giving the commencement. My point is, I'm a little freaked out about it because I'm used to being able to just ad lib off the cuff. With this, they wanted it more scripted and a teleprompter. And Wendy always makes fun of me, saying that I cannot read a prompter for the life of me. So I guess we'll find out, because while I have bullet points and I've got my thoughts in order, it's still going to be prompter. So I'm sure whoever's trying to run prompter is going to be like, what the heck? This is not what it's written here. What is he doing? I'll be going off on 15 different tangents like I do with y'all. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate it. It's very kind. Hey, thanks to everybody who's here tonight. We definitely have a lot to talk about. With Mother's Day coming up this weekend, there's lots and lots of things going on. Mother's Day weekend, and Ryan still has a travel ball softball tournament before. Look, I know I've talked to you guys. Matter of fact, the pitcher on Ryan's team we got from posting on my Facebook page saying, hey, Ryan, the pitcher moved on to the 12U team. Ryan was still into the 10U team. And the pitchers had moved on, and Ryan and a couple other girls were asked to stay back down in the 10U team while the other girls bumped up to the 12U. And so they did. And we had one pitcher. She was good, but we needed more. So anyway, I went on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, Ryan had a little catcher's gear on, because at that point she was, the previous year was a starting catcher for the entire season. And we were like, Ryan needs a pitcher. And one of our viewers, who I think I said something to you this before, who lives in Nokomis, no less, that is a haul, Nokomis, decided, hey, you know what? We'll try to join. Well, she is a beast. She's really, really good pitcher, and their team has been a really competitive team. But they play a lot, and I think travel ball parents. And it's funny, I never knew this world existed. Had no idea. I mean, I know people. Paul Legrone, his son, is like that with basketball, and I know there's, I've heard of a lot of parents whose kids play travel ball, but I never knew the commitment that it required. I just never knew. And it's massive. It's pretty much most every weekend, and then it's obviously, and I think I get it, that's kind of the path that some parents and kids take for high school ball and maybe eventually college ball, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, baseball, whatever the case may be. But I'm sure there's a lot of parents that do it. What I didn't realize was, how at some point, a plan or whatever the case may be, and things that you're told or just don't play out that way because things change in the middle, and there's a lot of things that, like, I think I needed to have stuff written in writing, maybe would have been a better thing, because that way you would have rock solid evidence. Oh, this was said and this was done. But I've heard from a lot of people that travel ball gets really, really like that and competitive. So it's another world entirely. So my point is, if you have kids that you're planning on joining into that world, it's awesome and great friends, and a lot of camaraderie, a lot of parents. But just remember, it's still real life in some ways, and it's definitely competitive, and expect that, and expect the unexpected in many ways. But it is worthwhile, and it is a lot of fun and great for the girls, because ultimately, isn't that why you're doing it, right? You're doing it for the kids to have these great memories, because how many of these kids are really going to end up playing high school or college ball? Probably not many. Maybe 95% of the parents think they will. The reality is, it's just not the way it works. So anyway, my point is, Ryan it's Mother's Day weekend. They still have a tournament, and there's a lot of other stuff going on. So let's go ahead and talk about not just the timing of the rain, but also the timing of and the intensity of where, and then the tropics, because the GFS is still doing its GFS thing, and Sal, look at Sal. Sal's like, what happened to all the rain? Okay, It is 7:40 right now, okay? I'm going to mark this point at 7:40. I want you to hear this because inevitably people won't, and I'm going to hear it over and over again. But I've been saying this now for 2 days. It is not going to be a wash out of a weekend. I don't know. Let's go ahead and jump into Futurecast, and I'm going to show you anybody who says that I'm going to say, oh, what happened to all the rain? It's raining all weekend. No, it's not even close, all right? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you the Futurecast and tell you a little bit more about it. Jason, yes, there are lots of tangents. There are lots. I'm reading your comments about travel soccer, too, yeah. It is. It's a massive commitment. It absolutely is. You know, the commitment's okay, but when you don't get what you're told, that's something. That's another story. That's just life, though, right? It's just life. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the drought numbers. New numbers come out tomorrow. All right, moderate and severe drought is certainly an issue. The weekend rains are going to help. But I will say it again, it is not going to rain all weekend. Matter of fact, it will rain less time than it will rain more time over the weekend. Does that make sense? In other words, it will be dry more than it will be raining on Saturday and Sunday. There were a few showers out there now. In the last 20 minutes, they've absolutely fizzled out. And we're going to look at Futurecast, and then I'm going to show you the tropics, because the GFS is still trying to spin up a hurricane, which is comical, but it is. All right, and then I will answer travel hockey. Yeah, I mean, again, I get it, guys. It's like I said, this was a new world to me. I had no idea, and I respect the heck out of the parents and the coaches and the people, you know, who are out there, and they're forthright and they're honest, and they tell you what to expect. And I think that's the thing. I think a lot of parents maybe even get in not having any idea. They're doing it because they think it's a path for their kids, and it will be great for the kids, and it is. But it is a commitment. I mean, it really is. So if you have kids who are in Little League, whatever the sport, and they're thinking about travel, do your research. You know what? And research the teams, and research the coaches, and research everything about it, and make sure that it's a fit that you're comfortable with, because you're spending a lot of time with those groups. You really are. A lot of people asking about cruises. So no ban button yet, Kim. The ban buttons are silenced at this point, but the night is young. So anyway, temperatures right now in the 80s, upper 70s to lower 80s. All right, so we're talking about currents, all right. Highs today hit the upper 80s to low 90s. So the average high is 87. We hit 89. That's 2 degrees above average. And the dew point in the lower 70s. So you kind of felt the humidity increasing today, right? 89 over 73. That was the high, and the low average is 87 over 69. All right. West to east flow. All right, I'm going to be in the picture here so you can tell when I am serious, because I'm making a point about this. Which, by the way, we were talking about this. I had a speech to Chamber of Commerce in Tampa a week or two ago. This is one of my favorite stories. I talk with my hands a lot. I just do. But when I first started doing the weather, way back in Salisbury, Maryland, I was the worst weather person in the history of mankind. There has never been a weather person who was worse than me. It took me easily a couple of years to get over the nervousness or whatever. And this is what would happen. So literally, yeah, Ryan's like, GFS gets a ban button. Ryan, you're right. All right, so I would stand at the weather monitor, okay? And this is usually you stand screen left and you're pointing this way. Well, I never moved this arm. So, and it was nerves, I have no doubt. But, you know, I would go like this and probably drenched in sweat because I was so nervous, this and this and this. That's all I would ever do. I went to a giant grocery store that back in the day, well, they still have them in the mid-Atlantic. I was in Maryland. I went to a giant, and a nice little old lady comes up to me. And she goes, and she recognized me. And she goes, I just think it's so great that someone with your disability can be on TV and do the weather. And I'm like, what disability are we speaking of? And she's like, well, don't you have a prosthetic arm because you never move your arm? True story. I'm like, no, look, I talk with my hands. And she's like, not on TV, you don't. And I never knew that. And because I don't know, back then you didn't even have air checks to look at very often. So I can't say that I ever really critiqued it. And she's right. I never moved the arm. And now it's like I'm talking all the time like that. But it is a true story. So we got into the squirrel tangent, but that's me. That's the direction that we go. Yeah, it's a true story. I got a lot of those. I'm not lying. The worst weather person in the history of the world. How I didn't get fired and how they kept me is beyond me. Anyway, back to the rain. So, westerly flow. Now, this is important. Okay, in the summertime, we get a westerly wind. It means the bulk of the rain, the heaviest rain, will be I-75 east. Okay? We talked about this yesterday, and I'm even more confident about it today. Westerly flow also means that it does not rain the majority of the time in your area. Okay? So, here's how this plays out. Let's go ahead and look at, I'm going to go ahead and take this full and go hour by hour. You're right, Charlotte. It's true. Now I talk with my hands all the time. All right, so let's go ahead and we're getting to the hour by hour. All right, so I want you to look at something. This takes us to tomorrow morning. We're going to be in the exact same setup tomorrow and Friday that we were in today. Dry along the coast. I expect no rain along the coast through Friday. Any rain that does pop, starting around the interstate around 2 or 3 o'clock, moving inland later on in the day. Okay? That is Thursday. It's also Friday. Friday morning, dry along the coast, inland, a few showers. Now, remember we talked about, I know, it was a prosthetic arm. It's a true story. And she was the sweetest little old lady. You know, and she's, well, Zephyr Hills is right along I-75, Diane, right? Or just east of I-75. Yeah, she was shocked that I could move both arms. All right, so as we get into Saturday, remember what we talked about, and I will show you this on another map. We have what is known as a cutoff low. A cutoff low is an area of low pressure that's literally cut off from the steering pattern, from the jet. So it sits there until something causes it to move. Well, this cutoff low is going to be there for about 4 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay? So, when you have a cutoff low, I want you to look at the Euro. Here's the Euro. This is Thursday. This is Friday morning, 8 a.m., 2 p.m. Friday, 8 p.m. Saturday, or Friday. Look at where the bulk of the rain is. The rain is inland, so that westerly flow continues. We're going to go back in time. Let's go back to 8 a.m. Friday. Dry along the coast. Maybe an inland shower around I-75 at 2 o'clock. 8 o'clock, inland and east. So we stay dry on Friday night along the coast. But look at your low. Look at where your low is. If it's there, or maybe it's there, I mean, it could be anywhere in that area. And that is significant because Saturday, that low is just lingering and it's going to be spreading moisture into Florida. See it? See how it's kind of like going in, right? Now, it will not be steady rain, but the way that this usually plays out is with a westerly wind, the heavier rain along the coast would be morning into the early afternoon, pushing inland late afternoon, early evening. So the timing is just like the summer. It's called diurnal convection. So it's more than likely going to give rain chances along the coast in the morning to the early afternoon and then push inland by the nighttime. This is 8 o'clock Saturday night. See how it's already cleared our area? We're going to go back again. 8 a.m. Saturday. Rain starts moving in from the coast. 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, rain starts moving in. Coastal showers moving inland. Scattered. It will not be widespread. It will be scattered. By 8 p.m., it starts to wind down and move inland. That's on Saturday. Look at Sunday. Same thing. Overnight, the rain starts to pop in the Gulf, and 8 a.m., it starts to move on shore. Lunchtime, it moves on shore to 2 p.m. By 8 p.m., look where the rain is. The majority of it has moved inland. So even though we're talking about low pressure in the Gulf giving us more moisture than we get in the summer, I still think the dynamics of the forecast are the same. Coastal morning, early afternoon rains scattered. Late afternoon, early evening rains inland with the coast clearing. That's Saturday and that's Sunday. So, is that a washout? Look, it's not going to be a gorgeous sunny weekend. It is not. But it is not going to be raining the majority of the time either. Now look at Monday. Monday's another story. If the Euro is right, the low swings north and brings a front through, and we're looking at potentially some really heavy rain. Look at where that low is, Monday at 2 p.m. That low, Monday at 2 p.m., is pretty much right on top of us. It's not a tropical low, it's not a tropical storm, it's just an area of low pressure. But, again, look at the rainfall potential on Monday. It is high. And then the low moves away on Tuesday, and it's gone. And we're back to a very dry pattern because this is not the rainy season. Does that make sense? That should make sense. Because ultimately, I've been hearing people, oh, this is the beginning of the rainy season. No, it is not. May is one of the driest months of the year. What this is, if it comes to fruition, and I think it will, is an area of low pressure for 4 days, giving us some much needed rain. But is this a pattern change? No. Come on. Not in May, it ain't. You know, mid-June, and people are like, when's the rainy season start? Oh, June 1st. Not in our area, it doesn't. I mean, technically, if you want to talk about Southwest Florida, you know, maybe. But for the Bay Area, we don't get our rainy, and it also doesn't start like that. It's like, oh, look, it's the rainy season, and we start getting our late day storms all the time. No, no, no. It builds because the energy and everything that causes the rainy season to go builds as the summer progresses. So it starts here, which is still kind of scattered stuff, but at least something. And if it's a westerly flow, you ain't getting nothing along the coast. That does not change. In the month of June, and July for that matter, if you get a westerly flow, the coast will be dry, and you're talking drought. Now, if the water temp is 86 or higher, you start to see some morning showers along the coast, but the heaviest rain by far is inland and east. What we need here to get our widespread rains is an east-southeast flow, because the rain starts on the other coast and works its way across. So if anybody's telling you the rainy season starts the end of May, early June, it's just a bunch of malarkey, at least for our area. You look at it. You watch what happens this year. Mid to late June, it starts. July, it picks up even more. In August, it usually cranks in really good into early September. It goes up, and it fades down. All right? So let's talk about the tropics. And I'm going to say this because there's been, you guys heard me talk about this yesterday. You guys know I'm friends with Mike Boyle and Mike Featherpage. I've known Mike for a long time. Like, Mike's not shy about posting long-range stuff because he knows that there's an interest for people, and there's going to be some people who are going to like it. There's going to be some people who hate it. There's going to be people who say, that's irresponsible, you shouldn't do it, because it's going to be wrong. Well, it is going to be wrong 98% of the time. But there are some people who still like to see those possibilities, and that's kind of why he does it. And the people who say, I'm not going to post it because it's going to be wrong, well, that's their call too, and I understand that philosophy. I do. In fact, I kind of lean more toward that as well, Because as I said yesterday, I hate to be wrong. So why would I want to post a model 8-9 days out that's going to be wrong 98% of the time, and then I'm going to hear people say, you were wrong, you were wrong, you were wrong. It drives me crazy. So I more than likely choose not to post that stuff. But if I see a 10-day outlook and I see a hurricane or something that I think is reasonable, I will post it. I didn't post this one because I knew it wasn't going to happen, and it's not. But when you look at the long-range tropical look with the GFS, it does it again. I mean, watch it again. This is next Monday. Look down in the southwestern Gulf. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's a week out. Friday, Saturday, 9 days out, 10, 11. And all of a sudden, there it goes. The GFS starts to develop a hurricane. That's 2 weeks out. Couple of things on that. If you've watched this show for a while, you know I ridicule the GFS, as do most meteorologists, when it comes to long-range forecast, because it has a bias in spinning out past day 10 hurricanes left and right. I use his expression again. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut from time to time. All right? So, every now and then it's going to be right. But I'm not posting something that's going to be wrong 98% of the time and hearing it for the 2 times that it's right. And that's what I also know there are some people who do. They'll post it every time, and then finally when it's right, and when it's wrong, they'll just blow it off and never say anything else. But when it's finally right, oh, see, look what we told you. Yeah, but what about the other 98 times you didn't and it was wrong? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so that's the GFS for you. It's going to do it. I would argue you can probably, from this point until November, look at the GFS and its 2-week forecast, and somewhere in the Atlantic to the Caribbean or the Gulf, it's going to spin up a hurricane. It's just what it does. But it's going to be wrong. The Euro shows 0. That's a great question. Somebody asked what the Euro shows, all right? I will show you what the Euro shows. And I have not even looked at the Euro because it's a waste of time, because I know what it's going to show, but I will do it anyway, because that's a good question. All right, let's add the Euro here. That's the load. And the Euro will show you 0, because the Euro is going to be more accurate. All right, as he says that, and watch, there's going to be a Cat 11 hurricane form or something. All right, there it is. There's the Euro, bringing our rain in on Monday. There's that cutoff low, that rain. Okay, we're looking down the Caribbean. A bunch of nothing, 0, nada, 0. Like literally not a cloud in the sky in the Caribbean. So you've got the GFS that shows this, and you got the Euro that shows this. There you go, right? Does that sum it up for you? Now there are those who are asking, is this lack of model accuracy anything to do with the cuts to NOAA spending? That is a very interesting question. I don't think we have the answer yet. There are some meteorologists that have been posting how bad the GFS has been for the last couple of weeks. And they're saying it's because of this, the cutting and funding. To me, that's just as bad as saying every severe weather event is because of climate change. It's just not that simple. And we don't have enough data. We just don't have enough data. So we'll see. But we're watching it, and we'll see how the models do as we get in. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? So there it is. Now, streamers, I think that... No, it will not be any issue, Justin. You're good. So streamers, you're going to be done in 30 seconds. We'll be back tomorrow night. I am going to stay on Facebook and answer a few questions about specifics. The Euro AI, yeah, Carol, it did do well. In general, the long-range forecasts, I usually don't put any weight in at all. They're leaning more towards a positioning of high pressure that was going to cause most storms to stay east of the U.S., but it only takes one. So again, I am going to answer some questions. Streamers, thanks for stopping by for DPL Plus. Appreciate your loyalty as always. And we'll be back tomorrow night for our regular edition of Dennis Phillips Live. Have a good night. Okay, streamers are gone. Now we can really tell you what we think about them. I'm kidding. I love the streamers. The streamers are awesome. All right, so let's see. What if I missed here? If I missed any question. So Steven, all right, right off the bat. Steven says bad time for our outdoor birthday party. No, I'll say this again. Saturday is not going to be a bad day. It's going to be kind of like a summer afternoon. Warm, humid, maybe a few late morning, early afternoon showers along the coast, better chance inland in the afternoon. That's it. 8 o'clock, I'm going to say it again. I would not cancel any of your weekend plans, at least on Saturday, and probably not on Sunday either. I would not. Now, somebody asked me, I'm going to be tent camping in, I think it was Lake Wales. I don't encourage tent camping if it's raining, but you know what? If it's waterproof and you're all for it, go for it. But I'm telling you, right this second, I would not cancel any Saturday plans. I wouldn't. Are there going to be some scattered? Look, do you cancel every plan in July and August? Because there's a chance of rain every day, and we see rain every day in July and August. Most people as Floridians know, like, well, you know what? There's a chance of some rain and some storms, but that's okay. I'm going to do it anyway. That's my suggestion. Mother's Day coverage will be a little bit better. Monday, it'll be even higher than that. Okay. You're welcome, Stephen. Happy birthday, by the way. Was it a birthday party? I think it was. Okay. Yeah, Adam. You know what? I watched the Caps game after, you know what? Carolina totally outplayed the Caps. Like, they had 11 billion shots, and the Caps had like 6. And the Caps were up 1-0 with about 10 minutes left in the third, but you could just tell. They were peppering the Caps, Thompson, with shots on goal, and eventually one got in, and it went overtime. But I never, ever thought that the Caps were going to win that game, watching how Carolina dominated. I love the Caps, but I would not be the least bit surprised if Carolina sweeps them. That's how impressive that team was. There's going to have to be massive adjustments because the Caps their goalie played a really good game, and they couldn't stop them all because Carolina's like that. They just shoot. And the Caps had no shots at all. So, yeah. All right. What else do we got? We did talk about hurricanes, Heather. You missed it. We didn't talk about hurricanes. We talked, here, I'll show you one more time. This is what people come in and they're like, you didn't talk about that. No, I did, but we've just been on for 33 minutes already. Here's the Euro in 14 days. Here's the GFS. Not a cloud hurricane. Not a cloud hurricane. Point is, it ain't happening. The GFS is notorious for spinning tropical systems up out of nowhere. They'll probably have one on every single 2-week stretch from now until the end of October. So I wouldn't worry about it. Okay. All right. Yeah, Stephen, I don't disagree with you on that. The Panthers made some, their style, I mean, let's be honest, the Panthers were the better team. They were. I mean, look, a lot of people don't realize this, but I did sports briefly before I did weather. I know a lot about sports. Oh, stick to weather. No, wrong. I love sports. I mean, it is my thing. Maybe as much, if not more, than weather. I mean, if I had been a professional athlete, then maybe I could have gotten into sports and stuck with it. But, you know, it's challenging at best. I made the right path, career choice. But anybody who watched that series, Panthers dominated. They were the better team. They were, period. There's nobody to convince me otherwise. It wasn't that the Bolts, yes, puck luck is a thing. Puck luck is absolutely a thing. But the Panthers did not win that series because of puck luck. The Panthers won that series because they were just the better team. So, you know, hate to say it, but they were. So, all right. Okay. Let's see. What else we got here? There's fake Dennis Phillips. Yeah, there are a lot of them. Beach on Saturday sunset. You know what, Dawn? I think you're okay on the beach Saturday night. I think Saturday night the storms will have moved inland. A lot of people have asked me about 6 p.m. weddings on the beach this Saturday. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I think the odds are in your favor, as they said in the Hunger Games. May odds forever be in your favor. I believe most, if not all, the rain will be inland at 6 o'clock on Saturday. So that is my prediction. Yeah, Adam, you're right. I'm surprised they don't do that. Name everything on there. Okay, is that about it? Let's see. Can we go boating on Sunday? Okay, Nick. Now that is a little trickier. Look, it's for Mother's Day, it's going to be a little rough out there for a number of reasons. You're going to have morning, early afternoon rains coming in. There will be some surf. There will be some water with that low out there. Not the greatest boating day on Mother's Day. And I suspect there will be at least some rain in the morning into the early afternoon. So if you were asking me at this point on Wednesday, would you take a boat out on Sunday for Mom? My answer would be no. That answer is no. Is it going to be raining the whole time? Absolutely not. And you know what? If you want to look at radar that morning and kind of adjust accordingly, maybe you can get away with it. It's not going to rain the whole time. But do you want to take Mom out there and have rain on her for a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours? You know, I don't know. Yeah, that is my suggestion. Not a good boating Sunday. Saturday's okay. Saturday will be okay. Sunday, not so much. Okay. And thank you, Buck and Lisa. I appreciate it. Don, we've had a lot of wind out there. We've had a lot of wind, and, you know, that inevitably will cause that surf to pick up. Boating on Monday, absolutely not, Janet. I know you had LOL. I'm assuming you were kidding, but if you weren't, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not on Monday. Let us see. Do I foresee this hurricane season to be similar or worse? Again, I'm not big into high, long-range hurricane forecasts. I am just not. I think we'll have 15 to 20 named storms. Where they go, who knows? You can't tell. You can't tell. You know, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Okay. Thank you, Serena. I appreciate it. Yeah, Pennsylvania, PA Latimer. I think it's PA Latimer. Oh, you work for Children's Home Network. Oh, wow. I have a special tie to Children's Home Society in Washington State. Paula, how you doing? All right, so, yeah, definitely check the radar. All right, based on current, I don't have that tides on the Skyway, David. If you want, I can look. Disney on Saturday. All right, I'll go with that one. Alexandria, I think I would not cancel Disney. There'll probably be about a 90-minute window late afternoon that they get some rain move through. But I would not cancel Disney. No, I wouldn't cancel anything on Saturday. I swear I wouldn't. I swear I wouldn't. I would not cancel anything on Saturday. Caribbean cruise next week. Shelley, you will be fine. You will be absolutely fine. Let us know how the cruise is. Which one are you going on? First rain delay this weekend for Rays game. 7 o'clock games, or are they 1 o'clock? Probably 1:35 in the afternoon, I'm assuming. They usually are. Maybe. If they play on Monday, they will be. Manatee County, Jane, how you doing? Correct. Beth Lynn, I'm with you on that. Correct. So, wait a minute. What time does the rain stop on Sunday? Carolyn, it depends where you live. Depends where you live. You got to tell me that. Yeah, the water in the eastern Atlantic is much cooler so far this year. Thank you, Larry. Outside event Saturday in Tampa at 5 o'clock. Sarita. 5 o'clock. It's close. It's close. Real close. I think you're going to be okay by 6:30, but maybe not 5 o'clock. And I'll show you. Here it is. Well, that's 1:30. That's as far as it goes. And that's already moving inland. So you know what? I think you're going to be okay. 5 o'clock, I think you're going to be okay. But it's close. It's close. Okay. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate it. Why, Mama? Yeah. Now, let me show you one more time. Oh, I didn't show you this map yet, did I? Stand by. Check this map. So this is a look at well, these are high temperatures, but here, I'm going to show you something here. BG as in Bowling Green? Is that what you're asking, Hannah? Oh, Busch Gardens, maybe. Yeah, Busch Gardens. Yeah, I do think there will be some late morning, early afternoon rain on Sunday. Not all day, not washout, but I do think there will be some rain on Sunday. Driving to Orlando to Tampa Sunday, 9 a.m. You'll be okay. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, I do think Busch Gardens is going to see some rain on Sunday, but not an all-day rain, maybe for a couple hours. I wouldn't cancel. How you doing, Alice? Nice to see you. Thanks for watching. Boating on Saturday, how the wind's going to be in St. Pete? Let's see. Saturday. Well, I don't think they're going to be terrible. Yeah, they're going to be southerly, 10 to 15. Seas a couple of feet. Moderate chop. So 10 to 15, and it's going to be 10 to 15 really Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. Okay. Yeah, April, the only reason I showed that is because GFS has been spinning up a hurricane, and I laugh at it every time it does it. Beach sunset tomorrow, Sean, you will be fine. Your beach sunset will be A-OK. All right, hold on, stand by. Now here's a look at coverage. I mean, look at Saturday. I mean, that's overall rainfall coverage. That burn ban will not be lifted until end of June. Chad, no way. No way they're going to lift the burn ban. Sunday, you know what, not great. But, you know, fishermen will go out there and they don't care about the rain. So, there, you know, it is going to be probably 15, seas 3 to 5 offshore, maybe 2 to 4. But I don't think, and I do think it's going to run into some rain. Not the greatest day, but I don't think it's much really of a safety issue on Sunday. Monday it might be. Going to Orlando for your birthday. What day? What day is that, Blake? Tell me what day. I would not cancel any day except for Monday. Monday you might want to, and I wouldn't cancel it now, but Monday's the only day that I think might be canceling. How's it going, KJ? Good to see you. Traveling to Atlanta Saturday. Scattered stuff, no big deal, Susan. Wow. Phillies are up 6-0, huh? Friday morning, Longboat Key, you'll be fine. Nope. You'll be all good, Andrea. Okay. Winter Haven, yeah, you're going to get rain this. Well, everybody's going to get rain on Monday. I think Monday's the day. Oh, the Panthers just scored? I'm assuming you're talking about the Panthers and the Maple Leafs? I've not really looked. Rain in Sarasota on Monday? Yes, it is a high chance, Caitlin. A very high chance of rain on Monday. The entire area. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the parks, I would not cancel. No way. Friday will be fine. Saturday will be fine. Sunday, you might have a little bit better chance. I do think, by the way, and here's the map that I've been waiting to show you that I keep forgetting to do it. Work is not canceled, Bonnie. That is the overall rainfall prediction for the next 7 days. So you look at that, they're like, oh man, it's going to rain all the time. No, I get it. I would think the same thing, but it absolutely is not. That's the overall rainfall totals over the next week. Yeah, Friday, okay, Blake, for the parks, between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock on Saturday and even Friday, especially Saturday, you'll be just like the summer. I mean, you're not gonna cancel it in the summer, right? Because of afternoon storms. Well, I wouldn't cancel this either. You will have far more dry weather than you will have rain. I absolutely would not cancel. There's your boating conditions. I want to show you the map. Ryan knows this is coming. This is my favorite map. My absolute favorite map. All right, not the 7-day, but the Mother's Day map. All right, so there's your 7-day. You see rain chances higher on Monday, highest on Monday. Okay. And then we got our Mother's Day map. Love this map, love it. Favorite one. And that's your forecast for Mother's Day. Scattered storms. Largo weather on Saturday. Birthday weekend, Cindy. Maybe late morning, early afternoon showers. Otherwise, you're going to be just fine. Hey, Deb Wolf, how you doing? Good to see you, West St. Pete. Saturday morning boating off of Dunedin, Brad wants to know. I think you're okay. I mean, might there be an hour shower? Yeah. But certainly not washout. I do think late morning, early afternoon, though, you could be dodging a few showers. But no, I don't think it'll be that terrible, Brad. I really, really don't. Oh, got it. Panthers are up 2-1 over the Leafs. Gotcha. Thanks, Adam. Again, the rain totals are right here. Right. Come on. No. I'm hitting backspace. There we go. There's your rain totals. So pick your area. Bill, I would say, 2-3 inches. No, nobody needs to cancel work on Monday. It's just going to rain. It's not going to, it's going to rain. Cancel boating plans for Apollo Beach. Absolutely not, Alex. Absolutely, positively not. Aaron, TGH having a big event at Busch Gardens. You'll be just fine. Aaron, Saturday's going to be okay. Saturday is going to be okay. You might see an hour or two of rain, maybe. And it would be more early afternoon, and by late afternoon and in the evening, you'll be fine. He's like, can we have Monday off? Okay. But Dennis said we could have it off, guys. No. Yeah, you're fine. Thank you, Blake. Tell Kyla I said hi. Zoo Tampa on Saturday. Same thing. Saturday, Yamibu is going to be just fine. Justin wants to know rain percentage in Inverness on Monday. 90%. Zephyr Hills. Yeah, it did get some rain, Laura. Laura, you're lucky. Most of us did not. All right. Ocala area, same thing. There you guys, you can kind of see it. Let me look. Anything else? Jenny Springs, again, Saturday better than Sunday, but not rain all day on Sunday. But Saturday definitely better. No more cold nights, no more cold fronts, nope. Boating on Sunday, Siesta Key, Ginger wants to know. Southeast 10 to 15, some scattered showers mid to late morning. Oh, the Panthers tied it up? Got it. Or the Leafs tied it up, I guess. Yep, Leafs tied it up. That's a fun game. Boating on Sunday, St. Pete, again, southeast 10 to 15, maybe, not maybe, a pretty good chance of mid to late morning showers, moving inland in the middle afternoon hours. So not terrible. I mean, not great. I mean, look, if you do not want to go out on the water and get wet, then you probably don't want to take the boat out on Sunday. There's going to be some showers around. Saturday, you might not get anything. Sunday, you're probably going to see some showers. So, you know, if you don't want to take any chance for any rain at all, then don't take a boat out on Sunday. But otherwise, it's not going to be that terrible. Camping. We have to stay in the camper. Absolutely not, Charlotte. There will be, most of the nighttime hours will be dry. All right. Still scrolling. Bridget's still talking about canceling work. Laura, I just think they want off from work. I think that's what it is. I don't even think it's a matter of them being afraid that it's going to rain like a hurricane. I just think they want off work. I think that's it. Paula with her daughter on Mother's Day. Again, scattered showers, late morning, early afternoon, Crystal River. Cindy's going to the beach with her daughter. Saturday will be okay, better than okay. I think Saturday will be pretty nice. Sunday, I do think you will see some showers late morning, early afternoon, and then the rain ends in the middle afternoon hours. Not a terrible day, not a terrible day. Yeah, Steve, we got no east winds coming for the foreseeable future. No power outages, it's just going to rain. Adam, you're a workaholic. You don't take days off. Hit the ban button on work for Monday. No work on Monday. It's official. You're very welcome, Summer. All right, Crystal River, again, Saturday, no big deal. Sunday, maybe a few showers. Lots of rain on Monday. Tomorrow, Bethlehem, very little chance of rain along the coast, like less than 5%. Okay. I'm missing the hockey game, Adam. I'm doing this. Mother's Day in Tampa. Maybe an early afternoon shower, but otherwise, and not a great day, a lot of clouds, but it's not going to rain all day. Okay. Oh, wow, Anna Maria, that's crazy. Peggy, I'm a lifelong Washington Capitals fan. My kids have given me so much Washington Capitals souvenir stuff. I have 25 Alex Ovechkin Christmas ornaments that I bought years ago that are probably going to be worth some money now that he's the all-time goal scorer. But literally, I have 25 of them. But I think the Panthers will sweep them. Not the Panthers. I think the Hurricanes are going to sweep them. After watching Game 1, they were so outplayed. I mean, literally, I don't know if you watched the game, but I'm not joking. I think Carolina had 100 shots and the Caps had maybe 25. Not on goal, obviously, but it was just a total domination. The ice, there's an expression, the ice is tilted in one way because there's the plays in the offensive zone for one team way more than the other. The ice was tilted like this for the entire second and third period. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, I think the Hurricanes are going to sweep them. I do. Saturday, yeah, again, very little rain on Saturday. Inland, maybe 3, 4, 5 o'clock. All right. All right. Well, I think that's about it, guys. Orlando Park, Saturday and Sunday, Michelle. Saturday, maybe between 3 and 5, some storms. Otherwise, no worries. Saturday, a little bit better chance of rain, but still, the majority of the time, it will not be raining. Spring Hill this weekend, same thing, Joanna. Saturday, very little. Sunday, a little bit better chance, late morning, early afternoon. Port Charlotte, less. Farther south you are, the less rain you're going to see. Brian, you don't need to send stars. What is your comment, though? No, I see your comment. It's not a question, though. It's a comment. So I was reading a Stephen King novel. It's really, by the way, so I'm a huge Stephen King guy. I've read almost every book and short story he has ever written. I'm literally a fanatic when it comes to him. And there was one that I just finished today, and it was about a guy he was the answer man. And this guy showed up, and for 5 minutes or 3 minutes, depending on the time, you could ask any questions you wanted, and he had all the answers, thus the name of the Answer Man. Really sad stuff. A lot of Stephen King stuff sad. A lot of people don't realize Stephen King wrote The Green Mile. Stephen King wrote Shawshank Redemption. Stephen King wrote Life of Chuck, which is coming out in June. Mike Flanagan's directing it. Mike Flanagan's a really great director. And it's a really sad, devastatingly sad story. Low-key, Tom Hiddleston is the star. Terribly depressing book. I'm assuming the movie's going to be the same way. But anyway, he was the Answer Man. And it was such a sad. That's the one thing about Stephen King. He's not afraid to have kids die in his stories. And those ones get me because we all know, if you've had kids or even if you don't, but especially if you've had kids, there's just nothing worse than losing a child. And in a lot of his books, there's a lot of kids, like in Cujo and in this book and a lot of other stories, children die. And it's gut-wrenching. Pet Cemetery, oh my God, Pet Cemetery is just horrible. Anyway, all right. Marshawn, I hate the face licker. I hate Brad Marchand. He is a face licker. And if you know, you know. All right. Oh, wow. KJ, well, yeah, I grew up a lifelong, I was a fan of that team from 1975, the year they started, because I lived in D.C. at the time. Laura, I don't know if that's really true. I think a lot of people think that. I don't really know if it's true or not. I mean, a lot of people say you used to be able to set your watch by it, but I don't know. Oh, wow, you got a bobblehead, Kim? That's cool. All right, well, I think that's about it, guys. Yeah, the stand was pretty exceptional, too. Ocala, same thing. Saturday, inland, a little earlier in the day on Sunday. Monday, it's going to rain. Tom Hiddleston. Yeah. I said Huddleston. You're right, Bridget. I just think of him as Loki. So, all right, guys. The Langoliers, yeah. I didn't see the show. I read the book. Like I said, I've pretty much read every Stephen King novel or short story there ever was. There's a new movie coming out, The Longest Walk. The trailer, my son sent it today. Tarpon already covered, same thing. Saturday, not a lot. Sunday, maybe late morning, early afternoon, and then definitely rain on Monday. But I did not see the TV show. And sometimes the movies are different. Like Shawshank Redemption, one of the best movies ever. It's Stephen King. Stand By Me, Stephen King. A lot of people just think it's all horror movies. It's not. Friday Night Rain, nope. Yeah, I hear you, Sal. I had a leak in my son's bathroom and didn't know it. My last water bill, $500. And I know they say you can submit if there was a leak. I tried, it didn't do any good. Bunch of nonsense. Richard Bachman was his pen name. That's correct, Chris. Yeah. The Stand was awesome. I didn't like the movie that much. I didn't like the ending of The Stand. I did not like the ending. I thought the ending was kind of abrupt. I didn't like it. So, Lindsay, is it gonna rain? Yes, it is. That's why the map is showing all that rain on there. Monday is the best one, though. Yeah, Stand By Me was a great movie. I think Rob Reiner directed that one, I believe. So yeah, I mean, you know what my favorite, you'll be surprised by this one. You know what my favorite Stephen King novel is? My favorite one, while it was awesome and The Stand was awesome too, my favorite was 11/22/63. Not a lot of people know about that one, but I loved it. And it broke my heart, and it was great. It was about a guy who figured out there was a little spot in his diner where it was a time travel portal, and he convinced the guy to go back and try to stop JFK's assassination. And it was how messing with time messed everything else up. Just a great book. I love that book. And he lived locally. Like, he lived in Sarasota. He was from Maine, but he spent a lot of his time in Sarasota as well. 1408 was pretty awesome as well. It's a short story, and the movie was great with John Cusack too. I like that one a lot. That was one of the better Stephen King movies, I thought. Needful Things was a good book. Yep, it was. Yeah, now see, I watched 11/22/63. James Franco was in it. I didn't like the movie at all. They changed it a lot from the book, but I thought the book was really, really awesome. He might, as a horror story, Brian, you might very well be right. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. I'm going to get my dinner. And we'll be back tomorrow night with updates, but pretty sure the forecast won't be changing too much. And we got rain coming, especially on Monday. But it is not going to be a washout weekend. Do not cancel your plans. I'll say that again. All right? Have a good night, and we will see you on tomorrow's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. See you guys.